you can never be too sure, as we always like to say.
I think that's on the back of the Trojan boxes.
Anyway, so
I wouldn't know. I never use them.
I say awesome truth. You say DIY.
There
There you go. What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the 5-Star Jobbers Podcast. I'm Cody.
And I am so freaking excited. It's WrestleMania week.
It is less than 7 days away. 6 days away, I think? I don't know. I was bad at math. I went to public school. I can't remember anything.
You're from Alabama, right?
Yes.
That explains a lot.
There you go.
Yeah, no, so today is Monday.
Right.
This
it's 6 days away.
This episode will air on a Tuesday. So for the people hearing it, it will be 4.
No, it's 5.
4.
It's 5.
Okay, so
Tomorrow it'll be 5.
They hear it on Tuesday, okay?
Right.
So that's the day. So then
you got
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Sorry, I'm used to WrestleMania being on Sundays. Sorry. Okay, forgive me. Yeah, I'll give you that one. 4 days away. But anyway,
Alabama public schools, ladies and gentlemen.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for listening. Man, there's been a crazy weekend, a crazy week of professional wrestling. It's been amazing. Before we get into anything, I want to first thank our listeners and thank our subscribers. Thank you to all your continuous support. If you haven't subscribed yet,
go suck a butt.
Well, don't do that. First subscribe, and then do that.
Then suck a butt.
Yeah. But anyway, hit that like button, go subscribe, share our content, follow us on all streaming platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everything. We're everywhere. We're worldwide, baby.
We're like herpes. We're everywhere.
Anyway, if you want more information about our podcast or you want to follow us on social media, we're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're also on YouTube. Go check out all of our content from our commentary episodes. Speaking of commentary...
Hey, why aren't we on OnlyFans?
There's a reason for that. Nobody wants to see you on OnlyFans.
Comment in the sections below if you disagree with him strongly.
Anyways, speaking of commentary, this past Saturday we had the honor and the privilege of being the commentary team for Kraken Pro Wrestling in Tifton, Georgia.
The Kraken!
I'm still riding a high from this event.
Dude, it was a freaking fantastic event. It was so awesome.
Nearly 300 people showed up at Fullwood Park, and we can't thank the fans enough for showing their support for this promotion. And I know all the wrestlers, everybody involved in this event, thanks you for your support. We look forward to the next one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Extremely.
Fantastic show. I mean, absolutely. I mean, great card. Just so much talent I hadn't even seen before. I mean, we had guys who have been on AEW, guys have been to Japan. I mean, in Tifton, Georgia, no less.
That's why we always say, guys, you always need to go check out your local promotions and local shows because you never know who you're going to see. You never know what you're going to get. We got an incredible show. There were some great people that like you said, we haven't met before. We got to see a team of Unrated. We got to see...
it was an unrated versus the All-Star
Special. Okay, like I said before, we'll keep a watch out because all the video and stuff for Kraken Pro Wrestling will be available within the next few weeks or so. We'll keep you updated on that, but I can't wait for you to see all this. I want to give a special thank you to Sam for allowing us to be there. Hold My Beer Hansen, thank you for allowing us to be a part of this event. We can't thank you for... Did you break the table?
No, I was going to ask you if you were thinking about big bumping meats and just...
You're a filthy man. I'm trying to honor all the people at Kraken Pro Wrestling here, and your mind's going to the gutter right now.
You're honoring something.
Anyways, thank you to everybody at Kraken Pro Wrestling for putting this event together. It was fantastic. I want to say thank you to everybody that was involved in this. Enjoyed getting to see Xander King and Logan Stevens in action. Always great to see those two. Great to see all the new talent that was there. Like we said, Unrated, Young Mighty Joe, Brandon Watley. Got to see Trevor Aon and Trey Shaw in an incredible match. So many great matches and great people that were there. Looking forward to the next event.
We saw a mongrel and a witch, and that terrified me and everyone around.
Yeah, definitely. You'll get to see it in the video for sure, but overall, fantastic event. Looking forward to the next one. Go follow them, Kraken Pro Wrestling, and go follow. If you want to become a volunteer or help out, reach out to them at KrakenProWrestling2024@gmail.com. I hope I got that right. I didn't put it in my notes, but hopefully that's right. But I've mentioned it before in previous episodes.
Probably.
Yeah. But speaking of upcoming events, I want to let you guys know of a few events that are going to be going on in weeks to come. First off, April 6th, The Guardian's Legacy, The Awakening. 7 p.m. at the Rosenwald High School Gym in Panama City, Florida. Going to be a great event. Don't want to miss out on that. Also happening on April 6th, Championship Wrestling, 7 p.m. at the Livewire Arena in Huntsville, Alabama. You'll get to see yours truly as the special guest ring announcer there. So if you want to take in a great event and see some great wrestling and hear my angelic tones, my 5-star voice, you'll definitely want to come to this. But looking forward to it. Looking forward to being in my home state of Alabama. Hope to see all my friends and family there. Would you stop goofing around?
I wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah, whatever. Those that are listening can't see it, but those that are watching can definitely see it.
Well, that's why they should be watching and listening. It's a multi-perspective experience.
True. One more event going on. April 20th, DCCW Unbroken in McClenny, Florida at the Baker County Fairgrounds. Go check it out. All these events are going to be coming up.
That one's the coolest because we're going to be at that one.
That's right. We're going to be there doing commentary for this event. So if you want to catch us there, go check out DCCW Unbroken, McClenny, Florida, the Baker County Fairgrounds, April 20th. Don't miss out on it. But with that, like we said before, WrestleMania is vastly approaching. We are 4 days away. I got it right that time.
Yeah. Well,
4 days away.
We're 5 days away today. As of the podcast going, it's 4 days.
Right. But WrestleMania 2-night event. It's going to be incredible. April 6th and 7th. A lot of great matches. It's a stacked card this year.
Dude.
I think this is probably going to be, I don't want to say the best WrestleMania of all time, but definitely one of the greatest of all time.
I mean, it absolutely has the potential to be in that upper echelon of like most epic, most, largest, I don't really know how like the actual stadium count for Financial Field. So, as far as the actual, ticket sales and everything like that, but, the matches themselves, the build up, the hype, it's, in America, they've got, it's going to be on Peacock, so it's not like, classic pay-per-views. The metrics are so different to be able to measure, but, I mean, truthfully, like, when you think about The Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and just anything else that could happen that's, this throughout this weekend, it could have, we could have, you could have one of those moments like, Andre and Hulk.
Yeah.
That just, it pervades the zeitgeist of professional wrestling no matter, how long it's been since then.
Absolutely.
To say it's to say it'll be the best, we're yet to see, but it's absolutely shaking up to be probably going to be one of the biggest, most watched, most talked about, most social media interacted WrestleManias of all time.
Absolutely.
It's I can't tell you, it's so refreshing to be really excited about all of WrestleMania and not just like one or two matches. There's so many years where, in the last, decade or so where it's just like, oh, okay, well, I want to watch that match and that match, but
right. It's never been where it's like, I want to watch every single match.
No, I'm stoked for every single one at this point.
Like WWE has done such a great job of building storylines for every single match leading up to WrestleMania where you're invested in every single one.
Yeah,
AEW, take notes, by the way.
Yeah, and I don't want to be a homer for the Attitude Era. Like, I get it. I know who I am. I'm an elder millennial, so obviously, anybody who listens or watches probably thinks, well, the guy thinks the Attitude Era is the best because that was, when he fell in love with professional wrestling, blah, blah, blah.
If you look back
the Attitude Era, it had nothing to do with the attitude. It had everything to do with the storytelling, and it had to do with, and I've talked about this on the show before, having multiple stories going on at one time and having them intersect with other storylines throughout the shows and then having big payoffs at big pay-per-views. Like, that's something that you haven't seen in a really long time in any professional wrestling promotion.
Exactly.
And so you've got like a lot of, for at least the last decade, it's like you've got one big storyline and then you've got some little take them or leave them storylines. It's like, am I really supposed to invest in this storyline, or are they just trying to get somebody a payday?
Right.
No, but we finally, this WrestleMania will be the first one that I can remember in a long time where it's like you're going to have multiple matches that are consistent with multiple storylines that have intersected, and that the intersection builds the tension.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I'm stoked. Say as a lifetime wrestling fan, and then for young wrestling fans that are getting to really see the apex of professional wrestling and storytelling.
Right.
And yeah, it's not on Wednesday nights, but. Yeah, no, I'm super excited, and like I said, I haven't been super excited for a WrestleMania weekend in a long time, so that's refreshing.
Absolutely. So with that, we thought that we would do a WrestleMania-sized predictions episode for this one here, and so with that, we've always done punishments in the past for whoever loses this. Unfortunately, I am still 1-2 right now in predictions, but I am hopeful that I'm going to win this one. I am hopeful that I'm going to walk out victorious and that I'm not going to have to get punished. We'll go through our punishments here closer towards the end of our predictions to tell you what we're going to be doing, but it's going to be interesting. You're definitely going to want to tune into it. But let's get started with our predictions.
Let's do it.
Now, this is in no way the order of the card. This is just what we have for our notes here. And so we're just going off of, because we know what the night 1 and night 2 main event is. That's the tag team match with The Rock and Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins for night 1.
Yep.
And then night 2 is Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
We know that's for sure. But we're just going to go through, there's at least 12 or 13 matches on the card that have been announced. And there was one announced today that I just put in here, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. But starting off, Io Sky versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. This is one of those where we pretty much agree Bayley's going to take the title off Io for this. The build-up has been towards Bayley taking the championship off. The odds have been stacked against her with damage control. Obviously, Bayley is going to walk away victorious with the women's championship.
Absolutely. They've been building this damage control team for 2 years now simply for this payoff. It's been for Bayley the entire time. Io Sky's got the title. Bayley won Royal Rumble. So they already give them the push on that one. Bayley's going in. My curiosity will be if we get to see the Bayley buddies, if she's going to come out to old school Bayley music.
I would love that, but I don't think that they're going to go that route.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Would you like to would you like to register a side wager on that one?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with this. I don't want to push my luck too far.
Mm.
But next, we have Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. For this one, I feel like it's I don't want to say too obvious, but I feel like this one is definitely going to Sami Zayn just because it's another Io Sky and Bayley situation. The odds are stacked against Sami. Gunther has been unstoppable. He's officially the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in history. Mm-hmm. And Sami Zayn, I feel, is the only one that could be billed to break that streak and take the title off of Gunther.
Well, I agree with you, and I think it's going to be Sami, but I think we have very different ideas of why it's going to be Sami. Sami can't lose this one and maintain the relevance that they've built over the last 2 years for him.
Yeah.
He was in a main event. He was in a night 1 main event of WrestleMania last year, and then they had the titles for a cup of coffee in the big time. Yeah. And what's he done since then?
Nothing really.
He went from main eventing WrestleMania, one of the most, cheered for, most over, faces in the company last year in the build up to WrestleMania with the bloodline and everything. And then just kind of
fell to the wayside a little bit.
I mean, not to say that, it's really anybody's fault. I mean, there's been a lot of really great storytelling going on, and Sami's just not been part of it. But at this point, Gunther is plenty over. I think he's going to drop this title because he's going to be going into the World Championship realm.
Which he needs to be.
He needs to be. And then so Sami needs to take this title. He needs something to, to grab a hold of, because if he loses at this point, it's it's that confirmation that he's just not a main event player,
right?
And so I want him to win because I think that he is. I'm going to be dead honest. I don't think Sammy's a main event player.
No, I don't think he is either.
And that's not to say anything against the man himself who does the wrestling, because I think he's a top tier talent. Absolutely fantastic in-ring worker. He's good on the mic. He can play a face. He can play a heel. But it's just kind of like saying you're not a main event player with the current main event players right now is not necessarily a knock on anybody. There's just, when you've got Cody, you've got Seth, you've got Roman, let's say bringing up Gunter. Not being a main event guy is not like say that you're being B plus is still, it's perfectly fine.
Right.
So, but yeah, no, I think Sammy wins this one because he needs to. Like I said, if he loses, what are they going to do with Sammy at that point?
Exactly. There's nothing more they can do at that point.
Yeah. So Sami Zayn.
Next one. This is one of those that was announced literally today as we're recording on a Monday. Per Nick Aldis, the general manager of SmackDown, the match between the Final Testament and Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits will take place in a 6-man Philadelphia street fight. Now, I don't know if this is going to be during the pre-show. I don't see why it would make sense to have it during the pre-show. I figured it'll probably happen like during the card or the main card. But for this one, I think the Final Testament walks away victorious in this one. I
would like the Final Testament to walk away victorious in this one, but the booking for Karrion Kross has been dog poo-poo.
I hadn't worked out the censor yet, John.
Bro, your ability to get a job done is like a federal Department of Transportation getting a highway fixed.
If anyone knows how to get the censor together for this, let me know. We'll figure out something with that. But anyway.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure something.
Dog poop. It's the booking for Karrion Kross has been dog poop, and also this is one of those matches where so you just told me about it, and I'm like, I know that I knew that this was going to be a match. Like I don't know why it gets like it doesn't even get announced, on air. It gets announced. That's just it doesn't make any sense to me, and I like both these teams, and I want to see both these teams get over. But if I have to pick one that I think they're actually going to push, I think they're going to push Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
Okay, so there's our first disagreement right there. So hopefully mine will be the correct one, but we'll see. But either way, it's like one of these matches that it could go either way. I would love to see it go in the favor of the Final Testament because Street Profits and Bobby Lashley are entertaining on their own. They don't really need a big push because
I think they do need a push. They haven't really done anything. They've been around longer than the Final Testament at this point. Like if they don't start collecting more wins and some gold, why do they exist?
Well, I feel like after WrestleMania, things will start to shake up a little bit. I think some teams and some factions will start to go to Raw because Raw is in need of a wake up in their tag team division. In my opinion,
well, no, big time.
All you have on Raw is the Judgment Day, DIY, and Awesome Truth. Well, then you've got
you've also got
Imperium and New Day,
and New Day, and I guess they've got the Creed brothers kind of, in Raw, but maybe also in NXT. I'm not sure how that.
The whole going back and forth with NXT to the main shows just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, they've got good tag teams on both shows, but I do agree that there does need to be a change up after WrestleMania, and there always usually is. Whether that's going to be a draft or trade, or they're going to have trades between the general managers. I'm not sure how exactly that's going to shake up, but typically I'll expect to see I'm hoping that we see a good night after Raw after WrestleMania this year because last year's sucked.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but, I believe we have a podcast about that. If you would like to go back and listen,
absolutely,
almost an entire year's worth.
Yeah, that's right. Big news about that. Wednesday, April 3rd, will officially be our 1-year anniversary from our first episode on this podcast. We've been doing it for over a year now, and it's not going to Nope, it's not going to happen. Nope. We can celebrate another way. It's not going to be that way.
Always leave me wanting more.
Anyway, I say Final Testament. You say Lashley and the Street Profits.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got one disagreement there. Next one, LA Knight versus AJ Styles. To me, this one seems obvious. I feel like LA Knight's going.
LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like LA Knight is going over on this one. AJ Styles is on his way out.
On his way out, doing the favors like any great veteran does.
Exactly. So, easy pick for us. LA Knight wins this one, no problem. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. So, with this one, I kind of flip-flop back and forth a little bit just because I'm sure a lot of people would love to see Rey Mysterio come out on top again and beat his son again. But I feel like with this one, I think Dominic and Santos pull out a victory on this one.
No, Santos got his win the other night. Dominic also got slugged by a woman who weighs less than 120 pounds and knocked off on his butt, so we can see how they view Dominic's supremacy currently in the WWE. It's going to be Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. They debuted Dragon Lee, so they're going to give him the push, and the push is coming from the WrestleMania win.
Yeah, that's going to go into my botch a little bit later, but we'll talk about that after a while.
Yep.
So that's our second disagreement. I say Dominic and Santos. You say Mysterio and Dragon.
One of us is right, and one of us is you.
We'll see about that. Next one. Bianca Belair and Naomi and Jade Cargill versus Damage Control. For this one, I feel like it's easy. Yeah. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi win this one.
Yeah, WrestleMania debut for Jade Cargill. You saw how she debuted on SmackDown this last Friday.
How about that entrance?
I mean, I'll say this. I'll give credit to AEW. She had a good entrance in AEW as well.
Yeah,
you can definitely see the similarities between the AEW entrance and this one. But of course, WWE production just takes it up to that next level.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, both
it was a fantastic entrance. I liked her ring gear a lot more than the gear she came out with at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, because
it was like some kind of a weird like.
My question is like, why does she feel she had to change? I mean, I don't know. I guess the first gear was like just for show. The other
I
one
don't
was
think
more...
there could have been a lot of moving around in that first gear without there being some Usle Ubi's Bay.
But yeah, easy one. Cargill and Belair and Naomi win this one. No question asked.
I agree.
Next one. So this is where a lot of people will probably disagree, but The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, night one. For this one, we've kind of gone back and forth a little bit on different scenarios, but ultimately I think we can agree that Rock and Roman Reigns win this one.
Yes, Rock and Roman Reigns win night one, and it's not looking too good for Cody.
Right.
And I'm calling it, so I get my cred. Rock is beating Roman. Seth's not taking the L.
You mean Rock is beating Cody?
No, I mean, yeah, my bad. Rock is beating Cody.
Okay, yeah.
Seth's not taking the loss.
No, yeah. And it makes sense.
Rock's going to beat Cody, and then we'll get to our prediction for the next one, but Rock's going to beat Cody, not Roman, and it's not going to be Seth who takes the loss because, especially after this last Monday,
yeah,
there's a lot more with The Rock and Cody.
Absolutely. So
that's going to go well past WrestleMania.
Definitely. So Rock and Roman win night one in the tag match, and then we get Bloodline rules.
And we get Bloodline rules.
And then next one, we have Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the WWE Women's World Championship. For this one, I feel like they've been trying to build up to where Becky will take the title off of her, but it doesn't make sense to me for her to take the title off Rhea. In this one, I feel Rhea Ripley's going to win.
Rhea Ripley all the way, baby. She is the Eradicator. And who is more over than Rhea Ripley right now?
Honestly, nobody right now.
I mean, like, you've got Cody, but like I say, as far as women's division, like, Becky Lynch is the man. And at one point, the man was, undesirable to undeniable. But Rhea's takes the cake, man.
Yeah, she's on a roll right now. I mean,
and pun intended, by the way.
Oh my gosh! But
so much cake.
Anyway, yeah,
make a diabetic go into a coma.
It doesn't make sense for Rhea to drop the title. Okay, enough. Rhea doesn't need to drop the title. She's on a roll right now. She is, in my opinion, the most dominant woman in the WWE right now.
Absolutely,
There's
and
nobody
she needs to continue it.
Yeah.
It needs to be continued. It needs to be built. She needs to be the Roman Reigns of female champions.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, absolutely. Rhea all the way. If they do it any other way, I'll riot in my own bathroom.
Anyway, next match we have the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship ladder match, where you have the Judgment Day defending against DIY, Awesome Truth, The New Day, New Catch Republic, and Theory and Waller.
That is a lot of men in one match.
It's going to be chaotic. There's going to be a lot of bodies flying around.
I don't like these matches because they're impossible to like pace.
Exactly.
Like I think the last time they did one of this size, what was it like?
Well, I mean, it wasn't even that size.
Was it WrestleMania like 18? It was 2018 or?
It was the one when
it's when the Hardy
Boys came
returned.
back.
Yeah, and then they're great, and you know you're gonna get some great spots out of these matches. But what sucks is like there's so many teams, it's impossible for like to keep up.
Right.
And so you know it's just gonna be a spot fest.
Which I mean they always are.
Yeah, but
essentially.
But I don't know.
But here's the thing.
There's a difference between like there's a big difference between like okay the one where the Hardy Boys returned and you had what like five tag teams. I think it was it started as 4.
No, it was
3,
and they added a fourth one. It was a fatal 4-way after
and they made it a fatal 4-way. And then like you look at the 3 like the TLC matches, you know, like where it's easier to tell the story. You know, you can have a couple guys out after a spot, but it's like you can't have 6 guys out at one time and then 6 guys up at one time.
Right.
Like, so
although I feel like with this one though, they're going to have a little bit more story in this because they're usually spot fests, but I feel like with the teams, and this is kind of going to go in with who I've got to win this one. Mm-hmm. I feel like the team that I have to win is going to play a pivotal role in making this.
You think that all of the work with the Judgment Day and Ron, you know, and R-Truth and everything like that's going to lead to a moment for the Miz and R-Truth to win, and it's going to be Awesome Truth. And that,
yeah, see, that's my I say Awesome Truth.
Yeah, you say Awesome Truth, and that, you know, there's good storytelling sense to that. Mine's different. And I say I might lose because of this one, but you know I just have to trust my gut on it. And you know who's in charge now?
Triple H.
That's right. And who does Triple H love and has been trying to push and has protected from the naughty man for a long time and didn't really want to pull him out until he had complete control.
You really think it's going to go to DIY?
I think it's going to DIY. I think
really.
I think we're going to see a good DIY win here, and I think that there's going to be a push for DIY. I mean, just think about it. Like Johnny Gargano was kept from going from NXT to WWE for a long time. Why? Because Triple H watched a lot of his pet projects and guys who were significantly over in NXT get repackaged and devalued on the main roster. And there were people he did not let go. And Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa were like the main ones of those. And Ciampa did go, and it did him no favors whatsoever, but thankfully those days are gone.
Right.
And so it's taken a little while to get to where we're at. But I think that this is going to be a WrestleMania moment for Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa.
Okay. So, would you be willing to put a little extra wager on this one?
What are we talking about?
So, since it's a tag team ladder match, say we double the points on the winner of that one. So,
absolutely. I mean, there's so many. There's 12 people in this thing. I feel like if you can actually pick the winner, I mean, we can both agree that we don't think Judgment Day is walking away with the titles.
No, yeah,
but to be
both agree on
actually
that.
able to pick the winner out of 6 teams, I think that's double or nothing on that one.
So technically, if 2 of my predictions are wrong, then I could pull out a win with this one, and then we'd be tied up again.
Yep,
depending on how things go. But you can never be too sure, as we always like to say.
I think that's on the back of the Trojan boxes.
Anyway, so
I wouldn't know. I never use them.
I say Awesome Truth. You say DIY.
5 children. 5-star drivers.
There you go. Next, we have the triple threat match for the United States Championship. Logan Paul defending against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. So, for this one, I kind of flip-flop back and forth between two, but you flip-flop back and forth between a different two. See, mine, I was a little hesitant between Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, because in this one, I feel like Logan's not going to win the title. I feel like Logan drops the title, but ultimately, I feel like it's going to Kevin Owens.
I agree that I think it's going to Kevin Owens, but yeah, at no point did I think that the title's going to Randy. Randy is an old grizzled vet at this point. He's come back from significant back surgery, and he looks great. He's working great, but he's in the enjoy yourself and put over talent part of his career. He doesn't need the U.S. title. He doesn't need another WrestleMania title-winning moment. KO can definitely benefit from a WrestleMania moment. I mean, Logan Paul, as much as people hate him, he's great for the business. So
I am definitely one of those people.
Having the title on Logan Paul doesn't hurt the business. In fact, it gives him more credibility. Think if he beat Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. That's a significant credibility builder right there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But at the end of the day, bouncing back and forth, once again, going with my gut, I think that this will be the U.S. title's been kind of held hostage for a while. This will be the opportunity for KO to win the title, probably come back out on SmackDown, reissue the U.S. title open challenge. Which will be a great opportunity for some other new talents to either debut or to kind of get a push.
Definitely.
So, as far as long-term storytelling goes and booking, I would think that, Kevin Owens makes the most sense for this one.
Absolutely. So, then we get into the World Heavyweight Championship match with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Now, this is one of those ones where I would say a lot of people they're 50-50 with.
This is the hardest one to predict to me.
But see, this one I feel like is easy for me just because Seth Rollins' mind has been focused on taking out the bloodline with Cody Rhodes.
And
I feel like his mind has been elsewhere and he's not focused on Drew McIntyre enough. He does realize that he's facing Drew McIntyre, but at the same time, I think Drew pulls out the win for this one and he becomes the champion.
I think Drew pulls out the win on this one too. I think it's part of this. It's part of two stories. You're gonna have night one. I think they're gonna have a fantastic night. I think Seth is gonna be the proverbial sacrificial lamb in night one. Because if they're booking this right, they don't want Roman and Cody doing any kind of major high spots that could really put the second night main event at risk.
Yeah, it'll mostly be it'll mostly be Seth and Rock doing the majority of the work.
Yeah, and let's say Rock will bump and Rock will do some stuff, but at the same time, Rock's also not going to be like doing anything. I mean, Rock's never been a high bumper.
No.
Like he doesn't need to be. He's a storyteller. He's a good in-ring worker. He knows how to make an elbow drop. The most electrifying move in all of sports entertainment.
Exactly.
So in this match on night one, Seth's gonna get tossed around and he's gonna be hurting.
Definitely.
And after night one, it's not gonna look good for the good guys. And I think this match is going to be the curtain jerker for night two.
Definitely.
So for those of you who aren't familiar with that term, curtain jerker is the first match of the night.
Right.
And it's the one that sets the pace for the night. So even though it's the first match, it is by no means the least valuable. It's oftentimes considered the second most valuable. So I believe this one's going to be the curtain jerker for night two. I think Seth's going to come out injured. I think Drew's going to be fresh as a daisy. Seth's going to do a lot of stuff to overcome and to persevere. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be too little, too late, and Drew will win. I think Seth and Drew will probably go on to have another series of matches. And when CM Punk is healthy, I think Drew will still have the title, and it'll be CM Punk versus Drew. CM Punk will beat Drew, and then it'll be CM Punk versus Seth again. And
maybe by SummerSlam?
Maybe by SummerSlam?
Or maybe by WrestleMania.
Maybe by next year's WrestleMania. Depends. Yeah.
Depends on how long he can last.
Don't be ugly.
Hey, just take the facts. But anyway.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story, Cody. That's what my lawyer always told me.
Anyway. Next one, we have Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. Brother versus brother for this one.
Yeet!
I feel like this one...
Yeet!
You done?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was having an epileptic seizure.
Anyway. I feel like Jey Uso comes out with a win on this one.
Jay all the way, baby.
Yep.
Yeet! Yeet!
Yeet.
Yeet! Yeet! Sorry, we're extremely white.
Yeah, definitely. And then finally, the main event of Night 2, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the Universal Championship. You know, a lot of people can say a lot of different things, but ultimately, the ending is going to go Cody Rhodes finishes the story.
Cody Rhodes all the way.
It doesn't make sense for them to build this whole thing up a whole nother year and then just to have Cody lose it again.
At this point, if they tried to build it up anymore, the payoff, the people would have lost interest at that point.
Oh yeah.
This is the definition of do it right at the right time.
Yeah.
If Cody doesn't win on night 2, it's like Hulk and Sting.
Yep.
Like, you have a great story, long-term storyline telling, huge build-up, everybody's bought in. If Roman doesn't lose, if Cody doesn't win, it doesn't matter when they win next. People won't care anymore.
Exactly. Nobody will be invested in Cody Rhodes anymore because they will think that, there's no reason to invest because he's lost 2 years in a row. He's won both Royal Rumbles in it, all to be for naught. So, at that point, nobody will want to invest in Cody Rhodes, and nobody will think that he's going to win the title.
Yeah,
at any point.
It won't matter. Even if he does finish the story at that point, people won't be as invested as they are right now. Like this, just like stocks and anything else, this is the time to sell.
Right.
This is the time to go ahead and cash out and make all the money that you can, because at this point, after WrestleMania, it's only going to be on a decline.
Exactly.
So, it's Cody all the way. It's going to be, like I said, it has the opportunity to just be one of those just truly memorable, iconic WrestleMania moments, like, say, Hulk slamming Andre, Shawn Michaels coming down from the rafters,
Ultimate Warrior beating Hulk Hogan. Someone a little sore about that?
I liked the Ultimate Warrior as a kid, but at the same time,
Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon ladder match.
There you go. When Shawn Michaels went out and had a wrestling match with a ladder.
Rey Mysterio winning the world title.
Rey Mysterio, winning the world title in the David versus Goliath match. Stone Cold beating The Rock at WrestleMania 15. And
the list can go on and on, but I feel like this one is going to go up there in the upper echelon of greatest WrestleMania moments of all time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely has the opportunity. And I'm still, as it's happening, I'm going hard. There's going to be an unexpected run-in to help Cody. It's going to be Bloodline. It's going to be Bloodline rules, and the Bloodline is going to be absolutely involved in this match from beginning to end.
Absolutely.
You're going to see Solo. You're going to see Jimmy. You're going to, even Paul might even Mr. Heyman might even try to do something at some point.
Right. Rock's going to come out.
Rock's going to come out, and I think when Rock comes out, we go back and forth. I'm the Attitude Era. I want Austin.
See, I want Austin too.
No, you're a Ruthless Aggression Era.
No.
You want the Doctor of Thugonomics.
No, here's what I think. I think that they might go the John Cena route, but I will pop so loudly if I hear that glass break.
Dude, I think that's what I'm saying.
If I hear I'm gonna be like, really?
Well, and I will say, there's two different takes to this, and what's really interesting about this is if you really look at it on paper, it is 50-50. It could go 50-50 either way, because think about it.
Or
Rock and Austin.
There's also someone that we're not counting that could possibly do it as well. Time to play the game.
I think he's truly not going to get involved at this point.
Are you sure about that?
listen, like I think it would be more likely that we heard dun da 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 than Triple H. Okay,
Yeah.
I think MJF is just as equal as Triple H. But if you look at Cena and Austin, it's like a 50-50. Like Cena and Rock have had back-to-back WrestleMania main events against each other.
Right.
Now Austin and Rock have had 3 WrestleMania main events against each other.
Right.
So, neither Austin or Cena has like deep-rooted connections to the Rhodes family or anything. But Austin is from Texas.
He is.
And both, I just, so is Dustin.
Right.
I just and at one point so is Dusty. And it would just be that much cooler. Like I sit there and I think about, like, when I think about it, I think about the pop when Mick Foley, when Mankind versus The Rock was happening on Monday Night Raw, and the Corporation came out, then DX came out, then Austin came out.
Oh yeah.
And that's the biggest pop that I've ever seen on a Monday Night Raw.
I mean, I'll go on record and say that I think if the glass breaks and Austin comes out on this will beat that pop.
100%.
I think it will.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, and it's Philadelphia too. So who's an ECW alum?
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stunning Steve Austin.
Well, he was the superstar.
Yeah, superstar.
Steve Austin and ECW. But yeah, no. So it really could go either way. And honestly, if John Cena came out, that'd be cool too. I don't hate Cena like I did when he was actually wrestling.
Right.
He's earned my respect over the years. But yeah, no, I think, yeah, you want to talk about most iconic moments in WrestleMania, you got Austin come out and stun Rock, and Rock gives it one of those classic Rock selling of the stunner, where he just
literally just pushes
flips
himself up into the air.
Yeah. I just think that, Austin coming out stuns The Rock, Cody hits the Crossroads, 1, 2, 3. Beer bash in the ring.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah. So, those are our predictions. Hopefully, one of us walks away victorious, and I hope it's going to be me this time.
You better hope it's going to be you. Tell people what you win, Johnny.
So, we figured that because it's WrestleMania, we need to go a little bit bigger with punishments. So, we've had chops. We've had the waxing. We've had chairs. I feel like there's only one way that we could possibly go bigger in this one. In the words of Bubba Ray, Devon, get the tables. So, I know what my punishment is going to be for you when you lose this time. So,
I'm not losing, so that's fine.
It's going to happen. So
one of us is going through a table, and it's going to be you.
I guarantee it's going to be you. But here's my caveat with it. When you lose, you've been giving Xander King a lot of flack lately, especially this past Saturday at Kraken when he won the Academy Championship. By the way, Xander, congratulations about that.
You won the title, congratulations. But there was some questionable refereing done, and I think that Logan got screwed. So I'm just, I'm a man of my word, and I'll stick to that.
Either way.
What about the ramen sensation, Xander King?
Anyway, what I had in mind is he won this championship with an elbow from the top rope.
He did.
What I had in mind for your punishment is that when you lose, you get placed onto a table and you get a flying elbow from the top rope from Xander King. And he puts you through a table.
All right, that's fine. But when I win, a wrestler of my choice, to be determined later and announced, got to keep the people in suspense.
Okay.
But there'll be a biggin.
Really?
Is gonna either powerbomb or choke slam you through the table.
You said power bomb
or choke slam.
Okay. You know what? No, I'm not going to be nervous about it. I'm going to be confident in my decision. I'm going to be confident in my predictions. You're the one that's going through the table.
Not going to happen, baby.
It's going to happen. You're going to be going through a table.
Well, if I do, I'll look good doing it. I can't say the same about you.
Either way, you'll get to see who wins when you watch WrestleMania. Will it be me, or will it be this guy over here?
It'll definitely be you.
I'm going to win it. I'm going to win it all. All right, John, you ready for some reviews?
Let's get to it.
All right. So, high spots this week. For me, I feel like Monday Night Raw was the highlight of this week.
Yeah,
as a whole.
no, Monday was freaking fantastic. Like, who would have thought that? Like, at the beginning of the thing, I think all I was going to talk about was the CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre 3-way promo, which was freaking amazing.
Yes.
And then by the end of it, all I could think about was The Rock. Mama Rhodes. Goodness.
Yeah. I mean,
when's the last time you saw blood on Raw?
it's been a while. It has been a while. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like not the Attitude Era, but we're getting a little bit more edginess.
We're getting
WWE.
a little bit more edge. Like we said, I think we talked about it last week. Everybody sits there and talks about, we're still in the PG era. I really don't think TKO is trying to be PG. I don't think they're trying to be TVMA.
No,
but
they're trying to find that happy.
There's got to be that happy medium, and I mean, goodness, like. It was a fantastic spot. There was just two really fantastic spots. Now, my favorite part, and some people didn't like this, but my favorite part was when Drew McIntyre is coming out and he's talking, and he calls himself the Chosen One, and CM Punk goes, "Who called you that?"
Look, who said that?
He goes, "What paragon of moral superiority?"
And then you can see Drew just like,
We're not supposed to talk about him.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, just Monday Night Raw as a whole was my high spot. I don't know if that was yours, but it was definitely mine. Yeah, I mean, honestly, picking one over the other, it's like picking your children. Very easy. No, they were both great, but no, I actually, honestly, I'd give it to the 3-way promo. I mean, as awesome as the segment was with Rock and Cody, that was like just all three of those guys came out like that. Like that doesn't happen very well. Like you have like a 3-way promo or like multi-people promo. Usually you have one winner or you have two people that come out looking good and maybe one that ends up looking less. Like that was done so well and all. Like I mean, CM Punk's gonna be the guest commentator. Whoop whoop. But like the match has more build. Yeah.
Like that. So to me, that was just like those. Honestly. That was a really big moment for Drew McIntyre. I've liked Drew. I like his work. I like his look. He can talk, but I've always kind of thought of him as like a B+ player. Now his promo work with CM Punk and Rollins, it shows why he's going to be in a world title match at WrestleMania, why he should win the world title match at WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
And they should let him talk and be like the way he's been over the last couple, that schmarmy, like not quite heel, but I mean, he tells you the truth you don't want to hear.
Right.
And, he's kind of cocky and smug about it. I love it. This is my favorite version of Drew McIntyre that I've ever seen. So, to me, I just give that one a little bit more of a high spot. Like, Cody and Rock, I mean, every time they touch the microphone, every time they're on the screen, they're hot. So, it's kind of like a little bit more. But, yeah, no, Monday Night Raw as a whole was just, I mean, goodness, 3 hours of just yes.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as botches go, and I kind of alluded to it beforehand with our predictions, Dragon Lee.
And the crowd went mild.
Exactly.
Like,
or as MJF would say, they went mid. It's like, okay, the whole interaction that Dominic has been having with Andrade. And then all of a sudden,
the whole what a letdown. Like I thought we were gonna get Andrade and like Ray and Andrade, And
then we get Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio.
like, where does Dragon Lee come from? What can I like?
I get it that he's being part of the tax of Legado del Fantasma, but at the same time, like, I just don't get it. I don't know. I mean, I guess they're trying to build him as the next Rey Mysterio, but here's the problem.
How many times have they tried to build the next Rey Mysterio and has that failed?
You can't.
Sin Cara, fail. Kalisto, fail. Anybody else they tried to basically repackage as Rey Mysterio?
Not that I can think. I think it's the only ones. But even
Sin Cara 2, fail.
Yeah. I mean,
like
there's nobody that will be the next Rey Mysterio.
There's only one Rey Mysterio. And I'm just saying that in the sense that Rey Mysterio came to American professional wrestling at a time when Lucha Libre was really not at the forefront of any American product.
Right.
And so Rey was doing stuff that people had never seen before. But we live in a world now of professional wrestling where, like, New Japan, Lucha, British Strong Style, like you get a little bit of everything out of a lot of these new wrestlers. And kudos to them for bringing that to the forefront. But that's what made Rey. He did things that you'd never seen before on American television, but it's nothing new. And so the Rey character, like, you can't just, put a mask on somebody, have him do high spots, and, expect that he's going to get that same, he's going to get that same reaction from the crowd. It just it doesn't happen. So, the botch on this one is that they overhyped it. Like, Rey Mysterio goes, I got a mystery partner. And you're like, man, Rey Mysterio's got a mystery partner. Who could this be? Like, could it be K-Dog? No, it's not going to be K-Dog. But, like, yeah, you're thinking in your head, like, this, like, is it somebody that they're debuting brand new we've never seen? Oh, no, it's going to be Andrade. Because,
yeah.
No, it's Dragon Lee. And Dragon Lee's great. That's the problem with this.
We're not knocking Dragon Lee.
We're not knocking Dragon Lee. I like Dragon Lee. I think Dragon Lee's fantastic. This did not put him in a spot to win.
No.
But that's why I've said, like, I think it's going to be Rey versus Dragon Lee, because at this point, they got to win. Because if they don't win, Dragon Lee looks like a loser upon debut.
Right.
What good does that do?
Well, see, and that kind of goes back to when you were talking about The Rock pinning Cody. I think that Dominic is going to pin Rey. See, I don't think Dragon Lee takes a loss in that one. So that way it kind of protects him a little bit, but at the same time, it also gives Dominic a little bit more heelness to him, as no more than he already has.
I would love to see Dominic beat Rey, but if he's getting beat down by Becky on Monday night, I don't see him beating Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania.
No, that's the thing. Like, he won't. Like, he'll capitalize on some kind of miscue or some kind of underhanded tactic. Because that's his thing right now. Like, he tries some underhanded way to win. He always has somebody come to help him.
I agree, but that's not how they've been booking him lately. He's been losing clean, like, a lot. Him and JD McDonough.
Well, yeah, I mean, he loses clean all the time.
They're bump cart, like, they're bankrupt on the ability to lose at this point. Like, they've lost a lot. So, I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
Right. So, would you say that's your botch, or would you say that that's your, or do you have a different one?
I mean, I'd say that's my botch as well. I mean, say AEW was okay. It was mid. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It seems like they're doing better, but I'll hold out and wait before I really start giving too much praise. So
right. But anyway, guys, that's our episode for this week. Go and check us out on social media. Thank you for listening, and thank you for subscribing. Like we said, go check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. All of our upcoming events we share on our Facebook page. Go check them all out. As we always say, guys, we cannot thank you enough for all of your continuous support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And as always, keep it 5 stars.